Picture a silent coastline, mist curling over the waves as dawn breaks. Suddenly, dragon-headed ships slice through the fog, Vikings arriving with chilling precision. These weren't wild barbarians, but professionals, disciplined, strategic, and terrifyingly effective. Forget the horned helmets, that's pure myth. Instead, see hardened seafarers, trained for both farming and ferocious combat. Their raids were meticulously planned, not random chaos. Every move was calculated for maximum impact. Like modern special forces, they relied on speed, surprise, and overwhelming force. Their mastery of hit-and-run tactics, combined with deep knowledge of their enemies, made them unstoppable. The terror they inspired wasn't accidental. It was a weapon wielded with intent. To understand the Vikings, strip away the fantasy. These were men forged by the sea, united by discipline and purpose. Each warrior knew his role. Every action was practiced until perfect. Their opportunism was built on skill, not luck. The Viking Age reshaped Europe, from isolated monasteries to bustling cities, as the longship's silhouette meant nowhere was safe. But this wasn't just destruction, it was tactical brilliance. We must look closer at their methods, tools, and mindset. In doing so, we find not mindless brutality, but a doctrine so effective it gripped continents for centuries. The real story of the Viking warrior is one of resilience, strategy, and relentless innovation. They were more than raiders. They were a force that changed history. Their legend endures not because of myth, but because of their mastery. This is the true face of the Viking warrior. Welcome to the real Viking Age. The Vikings' deadliest weapon wasn't steel, it was fear. They understood that terror could break an enemy before battle even began. Their raids were calculated performances. War horns blared, warriors screamed, and dragon-proud ships loomed from the mist. These sights and sounds were designed to paralyze defenders, making resistance crumble. The dragon heads weren't just art, they were psychological warfare, evoking ancient nightmares. Their reputation spread faster than their ships. Rumors alone could empty villages before a single blow was struck. Even the Berserker myth, whether real or exaggerated, fueled panic. Enemies believed they faced invincible madmen. The Vikings mastered the battlefield of the mind, using fear as their sharpest blade. Their psychological tactics gave them a crucial edge, collapsing defenses in minutes. They didn't just fight with weapons, they fought with reputation. In the end, the Vikings' greatest victories were often won before the first axe was swung. They were masters of terror, and that mastery made them legends. Fear was their most reliable weapon. The longship was the engine of Viking power, a marvel of naval engineering. Sleek, fast, and versatile, it could cross oceans and slip up shallow rivers, striking where enemies least expected. Built with overlapping oak planks, the hull was strong yet flexible, riding the waves instead of fighting them. Its shallow draft let Vikings land on any beach and bypass coastal defenses, reaching deep inland. Oars and a single sail meant speed in any weather. They could appear and vanish before defenders could react. The longship's mobility made the Vikings Europe's most unpredictable force. Light enough to carry over land, these ships opened entire continents to Norse exploration and conquest. The longship was more than transport. It was a strategic weapon, a home, and a symbol of Norse ingenuity. It allowed a small population to project power across the known world. No other vessel of the era matched its reach or impact. The longship was the Vikings' ultimate advantage. It made them masters of the sea and of surprise. With it, the world was theirs to raid. Viking raids weren't quick strikes. They were long campaigns deep in hostile lands. Survival skills were as vital as combat prowess. Vikings were expert foragers, hunters, and fishermen, able to live off the land and travel light. This freed them from slow supply lines, making them fast and unpredictable. Every warrior was trained in rationing, water discipline, and resource management. Their camps were simple and mobile, allowing rapid movement across vast distances. Mastery of the wilderness let them use terrain as both weapon and shield. Forests, marshes, and mountains became allies. This adaptability made them hard to track and even harder to defeat. Their survival skills gave them the confidence to push into unknown lands. For Vikings, the wild was not an obstacle, it was an advantage. Their resilience and adaptability set them apart from other armies. Survival was their secret weapon. In battle, Viking ferocity was harnessed by iron discipline. The shield wall, warriors shoulder to shoulder, shields overlapping, was a fortress of teamwork and trust. It absorbed charges and arrows, holding firm under pressure. Discipline turned individuals into a single, relentless force. The boar's snout formation, a wedge of elite warriors, punched through enemy lines, shattering defenses from within. These tactics required communication, courage, and cohesion. The Vikings' strength was not just in individual prowess, but in collective execution. Their formations could attack or defend, adapting to the chaos of battle. This blend of personal bravery and group discipline made them nearly unstoppable. On the battlefield, they were a living machine, ferocious, but never out of control. Discipline was their edge in the storm of war. Viking raids succeeded because of intelligence and cunning. Scouts, often disguised as traders, gathered information on targets, defenses, and local politics. This knowledge let them strike where profit was high and risk was low. They timed attacks for moments of weakness, like religious festivals or political turmoil. Deception was a favorite tool. Feigned retreats lured defenders into ambushes, and clever ruses opened city gates. Every raid was a calculated gamble, not random violence. The Vikings exploited weaknesses, physical, spiritual, psychological, without mercy. Their use of intelligence turned raids into surgical strikes. They won battles before they began, outsmarting as much as outfighting their foes. Strategy and trickery elevated them from pirates to masters of asymmetrical warfare. Their true power lay in knowing more and using it ruthlessly. The Vikings never stood still. Their tactics evolved as their enemies adapted. Early raids were small and swift, but as defenses improved, the Vikings formed massive armies and seized territory. They built fortified camps, launched invasions, and waged wars of conquest, not just plunder. In England, the Great Heathen Army marked a shift from raiding to occupation and siege warfare. They learned to attack fortified towns, play local politics, and fight set-piece battles. The Viking warrior became not just a raider, but a conqueror and political player. Adaptability was their core strength. If a tactic failed, they changed it. This willingness to evolve kept them dominant for centuries. From pirates to founders of states like Normandy and Kievan Rus, they constantly reinvented themselves. Their story is one of relentless adaptation. The lesson survival belongs to those who change with the times. The Vikings' legacy is strategic evolution. They thrived because they never stopped learning. The Viking Age is gone, but its lessons endure. Beyond the myth, we find timeless truths about strategy, survival, and mindset. Preparation and deep understanding of the environment were the roots of their success. The longship and survival skills teach us the value of knowing our terrain and planning meticulously. Discipline and adaptability were their twin pillars. Execute the plan, but pivot when needed. The shield wall shows the power of teamwork, their evolution, the necessity of change. Mindset was everything. They wielded fear, but also cultivated resilience and courage. They ventured into the unknown, driven by a will to prevail. The Vikings' legacy is not just conquest, but a testament to preparation, discipline, and adaptability. Their story is a blueprint for thriving in any high-stakes arena. To prevail, be prepared, be disciplined, and never fear to adapt.